reaction to Travis? I thought you were going to be all flowers and bouquets, but not necessarily.
He was fine. I mean, he missed the tackle. He kind of got trucked right there. Not trucked, but he missed that tackle. But, Coach, I just feel like this was evidence of how I don't think he's going to be able to play full-time or should be playing full-time both ways. Full-time one way, situationally on the other side of the ball. First, he's a small guy, and I get it, cornerbacks are small, but I think teams are going to go at him too, because you know he's playing the whole game, or he's trying to. So I think teams will run at him. I think players will try to not hurt him, but run him over or burn him, wear him down. And I think, like, that game, I get it, it's preseason, but he wasn't, there was like, oh, Travis Hunter is out there. Like, he made no imprint on the game. And I think that if he plays both ways full time, it could be a lot of that. He'll have his plays, no question, but I think it'll be a lot of, oh, Travis Hunter, okay, yeah, he's okay. Whereas I think if he focuses on one side of the ball and then is situational on the other, I think he can be a star.
Can I just ask you a follow? What about that game made you think they're not going to have him try to go full time both?
No, I think they are going to.
Oh, but you think it's a bad idea.
I think it's fair. Honestly, I think it's fair to give him a shot because he really wants to in his mind. But I just think they probably feel like in the back of their minds, I would think, he's going to realize week 5, whatever it is, that this isn't a good idea and he should play one side of the ball mostly.
Yeah, just because he wants to do something doesn't mean it's right for him to do it. And organizationally, they've got to figure out the correct mix. And I'm different than a lot of people where I think it should be defense first and situationally offensively because you can control that more. And this is such a small sample size, but you watch it, and the catches were okay. I didn't think the run after the catch was very impressive. I thought it was unremarkable. And then defensively, there were times coming out of his back pedal, he slipped. I don't know if the field was especially slippery, but like just not as dynamic as I was hoping it would be. And then the one where he's digging for worms, trying to make the tackle, there's going to be a lot of really big backs.
Right.
And at some point, you're going to have to go up and tackle them. And the other thing you do defensively is jam. Every time in the line of scrimmage, try to work it, especially in those zone coverages, where you're hitting them as much as you can, so that kind of like a boxer, if you hit him enough, you're going to wear down the later rounds.
They didn't trade the 5th pick in next year's #1 for him to play one side of the ball and occasionally play the other. They did it because they think they could be getting not necessarily an all-pro at 2 spots, but a Pro Bowler at 2 spots. And maybe it's unrealistic.
It is.
I think kind of everything he's done so far is unrealistic. I think being the #1, and I don't want to be flowery about it, but being the #1 player in the country in high school and going to an HBCU was considered insane at the time. You know what I mean? Then stepping up to Colorado competition and being the best receiver and the best corner on a legitimate team. You know what I mean? Colorado last year they weren't a championship level team, but they were a legitimate back half of the top 25 team for most of the year, was considered impossible. And the Jags, I really like that he's with the Jags, not because they have the Prince and I root for him, but because if he had gone to a team that it was like, well, there's too much value in we have to take him. Let's say the Patriots drafted what, at 4?
Yeah.
The Patriots were
3 or 4.
had the 4th pick. Let's say he was there. And Will Campbell had gone 3. If it went Cam, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell was the draft. And the Patriots are like, well, I mean, geez, this is a #1 player on a lot of teams' boards. We have to take him. That team wouldn't necessarily feel like we wouldn't have the proof that they believe he's as special as we know the Jags do. The Jags believe he can be a franchise-changing player and are going to, you know what I mean? You don't trade the 5th pick and an unprotected, I know all picks in the NFL are unprotected, but a future one if you don't. And I think he can do it.
I honestly think, and I really do mean this is one of the dumbest stories in the NFL. I really do. I really to my core, think it's absolutely positively outrageous to think that he is going to be a full-time player on both offense and defense. And I've already gone through all the reasons why, in the past as to why I just think it's just not even remotely possible. That in order to be truly special, truly great, you have to put in the time and the work. And he either has to now double the amount of work that he's doing or cut the work in half that he's doing for both sides of the ball. And you cannot do it. If you double the work, your body cannot handle it. You cannot physically handle it. And if you cut it in half, to think that you are going to be one of the top defenders and one of the top offensive players, that's what a Pro Bowler means, by putting in half the amount of work that the other players do, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And the way you achieve greatness in any position, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And it's just kind of crazy. There's just so much time and energy in a day. And I think this is the dumbest story ever because everyone keeps trying to pretend like it can happen, and it can't. It just can't. And the whole idea, he did it in high school, he did it in college. Let me know when that's the NFL. I mean, just let me know when that's the NFL. It's just ridiculous. And don't tell me that Deion Sanders did it, because he didn't really. Not in the way that everyone wants to try to pretend like it was. I'm not going to go through his stats right now, but it's just go look at it yourself. We can stop pretending like he was elite full-time on both sides of the ball, because it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So it's so frustrating to keep trying to have these conversations and pretending like it's actually possible. Or that there's actually the potential. And then, right, and Nick admitted, I don't mean to be too flowery, but like, I think it was crazy that so-and-so happened, and this happened, and this happened, and so why can't this happen? And it's just like, all right, man, it's just like, and I want, world peace. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I want world peace. I want end world hunger. End crime. Why not? Why not? Like, it's just kind of crazy to me. It really is. And like, I get exhausted about talking about this type of story because there's more interesting things to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, rather than a story or a talking point that it's just manufactured and it's just made up, and nobody just wants to, and no one, apparently, like, not a lot of people have the courage just to be like, this is not going to work. This is not going to happen. You can't play both sides of the ball. You can't be great full-time on both sides of the ball. You just can't. And it's an insult, and it's insulting. I mean, think about it. You're looking at Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown. You're saying, I'm going to be on your level, by definition, Pro Bowler, and I'm only going to put in half the time. Or I'm going to be able to cover you and only put in half the time. Or I'm going to literally practice twice as long as all of you. Double the amount of work. And I'm not going to suffer any negative repercussions for it. I'm not going to be extra tired. I'm not going to be worn down. My body's not going to be worn down. I'm not going to be mentally and physically exhausted. I'm just going to be able to do it. Just because I said so. Okay. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, think about how when we watch a regular football game, just your everyday regular run-of-the-mill football game, and a defense and an offense is struggling a little bit, and they have a couple 3-and-outs or whatever. I mean, every game every broadcast team points out, oh God, this defense is tired. They got to get off the field, and this offense, they need to sustain a drive. They need to convert a couple third downs here because the defense is just gassed. And it's just going to be like that for Travis Hunter every single game then? I mean, make it make sense. If you told me that he was going to be an elite field goal kicker or something, or a punter, okay. But this, just trying to pretend like something is real. It's like trying to pretend like, you know, that the Dallas Cowboys had the chance to win the Super Bowl that one year. It's just like, really, this is what we've reduced ourselves to now? To pretend we all actually are going to pretend like the Cowboys actually have a chance. Oh wait, no, they got rocked in the wild card round and got destroyed. Okay, right. Because reality finds a way of finding itself through. And so it's just, I don't know, man. It's a pet peeve of mine. It really is. Because it's also, I also feel like it's you're not actually really treating Travis Hunter with the respect by trying to pretend like this. And it's funny because some people would say like it's disrespectful to doubt him. And it's more disrespectful to pretend like he can do something not. It's like when a kid says like, I'm a princess, I'm a king. And it's like, yeah, you are, buddy. You sure are. It's like, would you do that to a 25-year-old who's like, I'm a king? Or some girl who's like, I'm a princess? You're going to be like, sure you are. Can you just get out of my way now? I'm just trying to get some eggs and milk. You know, get out of my way. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Travis Hunter? Being this dual threat player who's just going to change the franchise because, according to Nick, they believe that he's going to be a Pro Bowl on both sides. Well, Pro Bowler on both sides of the ball, maybe even all pro. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.